Have you ever stepped on a Lego barefoot in the middle of the night? Or have you gone into your child's room very quietly on the weekend just to find a big mess? You feel out of order. Your life is in chaos. Your house is a complete mess. And the worst thing is that the grandparents are not helping. Every single time they visit, they bring something new for the kids. So we have a pile of new toys, and you open the closets and everything looks like, wow, this is a mess. How do you teach children how to become organized, how to clean their own rooms? That's a very important theme that we're going to discuss today in Raising Innovators. Sarah, what do you say about this?
All I can tell you is I remember my first year teaching kindergarten. I did not know what I was doing. It's very evident because I spent every afternoon when the kids left putting away blocks. You know what it is to put blocks away. Mm-hmm. I didn't know that I was supposed to label the blocks. I didn't know I had to have a place for every different kind of block. The square ones go here, the rectangles go here. I didn't know any of that. Puzzle pieces? I didn't even number the backs of the puzzles when I started. I learned all of that the hard way by staying after school at least an hour every day and cleaning up my room. So I learned that I did not want to do that again. Yeah. And I was going to be proactive and plan ahead and get better at not having such a messy room. Yeah. But I just didn't know how when I started. But then I got smarter.
Okay, we want to hear that.
That's what I did. I planned and I said, let's get a place for everything and expect everything to be in its place. So one of the things I did before I even opened my classroom is I had more things in the closet than I had on the floor. Because you can't put everything out in the beginning. You have to put a little bit out at a time.
Surprise element, right?
Yeah, that and I had to learn how to care for whatever I brought out when I brought it out. So I finally learned that teaching them to care for their toys or their implements, whatever you want to call them, teaching them how to care for them was just as important as whatever the toy actually was.
Oh, that is a very important lesson. I mean, everybody that knows me says that I have like a signature phrase. Organization is the key to success. Well, my poor kids, they grew up hearing that. And for most of their life, they didn't understand because their rooms were a mess. And every time I went to their rooms, organization is the key to success. You cannot do anything with it if you have a mess. I mean, I cannot think in a messy place. I can work. I can live in a messy house. It's kind of my brain clutters and I get confused, so I can't. So I started incorporating that phrase very early on in their lives. And even though I didn't see it, I am seeing the fruits of that maybe later in their life. So let's start by what's the journey? Because a lot of parents, especially if their kids are little, they take on that responsibility for their kids. They actually clean. They store things apart. Is that good for the children?
Well, no, it's their toys. And it is, and for them to own it, they have to own all parts of it. And part of it is getting it out, and part of it is putting it away. And that's part of what we have to do. We have to teach them. They just do not innately want to do that. I mean, how many times when you do the cleanup song in school do you see one or two kids over here cleaning, really quickly, and two or three over here not
ignored? Yeah, you see that a lot. Okay.
So I do think that it's part of it. We just need to think of putting things away. I mean, when you go to your closet, let's just think of ourselves as adults. Do you just take your dress off and throw it down? What do you do when you're through with the clothes you're wearing?
Well, some people do, but yes, some of us have a system, right? A storage system, which is the way to teach children when they're little how to be organized in their lives, personal. But so let's take everybody step by step. So you have a small child where this is where the routines and the foundations of this skills, this is a life skills, are laid. So the first thing is find a place for everything. Maybe
Everything.
like a little storage, a little bin, and then maybe label it. And how can you label it when children are small?
Well, you can label with a picture. You can label with a clear plastic so that they're not even having to read it. It does help as they get older to be able to sight word, read Legos or to look at that and know that's what it is. Those of us who've been teachers, we label everything. I'm sure that people think I'm crazy if they come in my house and see that the door has the word door written on it. But the children learn how to read door. So yes, I label and clear plastic bins are a great way because it's very easy to look at them and see, but they have to have a place to go.
Okay, so the first step is find a place and label it. And here's a few strategies to encourage children how to clean up for themselves. And like you said, some children are more interested in helping, are obedient. Some refuse, right? Oh, no, they play and the whole house is a mess. So first, we start by making a specific request. Hey, little Johnny, can you please put this over there and keep emphasizing that one request? I mean, I think one mistake young parents do is like they give many requests at the same time.
Oh, yeah. They just hear one at a time.
And that confuses the children, right? Another strategy is maybe finding a cleanup song, right? Like we have in the schools. And asking the child to always like put different things at a time. Do you suggest like you let them play with many, many different toys or just with specific ones?
Well, we always had a rule, which was before you get out a new toy, put the old toy away. And that may work about 60% of the time. Yeah. But what happens with kids, just like with us as adults, is as you're playing with something, you'll think, oh, I've got this great Lego, but if I could just go get those blocks, I could add them to the Lego. So the children are going to mix up their toys because that's okay. I mean, they're creative people. We don't want to ruin their creativity. We just want them to also know that they're responsible after they've created this city they've made to put that city away. What? And oftentimes they don't want to tear down what they've built up. That's another whole thing.
That is. And then you might have to leave it for a while because it's a maker project. And I think one important thing that I see when new teachers get onboarded into our program, I see a big difference with teachers that like make requests to the children from the ones that actually ask the question. For example, a good teacher that has classroom management or a parent, right? It uses requests, not questions. So they say, for example, please put that blocks in their storage area, right? Instead of, will you put the toys in the bin? And that makes a very big difference. Like, I mean, classroom management, house management, order management is a skill. And you see it like the teachers and caregivers that have that skill, they have, the children follow the command and children need that structure. Yes. Children do not like to be in a chaotic environment. Nope. They don't, because they don't thrive. They want their parents to make requests instead of asking those questions.
Oh, absolutely. And people just by nature will say, can you put that away? And that says to the child, maybe I can, maybe I can't. And that's why you don't ask them that way. You tell them, put the toy away in the bin. Yeah. Just tell them where it goes even. And you can even ask them or even help them by doing it with them. I do that a lot. I'm going to help you put these away. These go in the bin. Let's see, you could put 2 away. I'll put 2 away. So I can play a game. You can do all kinds of games like that with them to teach them the importance of cleaning up after themselves.
Absolutely. And also I think it's important the tone of voice that the parent keeps, because I mean, as you get more and more frustrated with your child, you might end up with like a louder tone of voice. and you get desperate, right? But keeping up that like command and being just very direct
Right.
and give the command. I think is very important without racing or losing control. I heard this wonderful story about Chris. Okay, so Chris was in the supermarket with his little son, and every time they would like go into an aisle, the kid, you would see the kid, he was getting anxious, and he wasn't really like paying attention. He was in the middle of throwing a tantrum and not following orders, right? And the other people in the supermarket were hearing like, Chris, you are okay. You're calm. You're calm. So this is a story I read in a book, but this kept repeating in every aisle of the supermarket until like another person in the supermarket asked, like, so how do you stay so calm? Like, and Chris said, well, no, well, he said, you know what? I was saying that to myself. I am Chris. So that is the secret. Yes. Yeah. I mean, instead of when you are not regulated, when you know that you're not going to say something that is nice, you first have to say it like
I'm gonna
remind
that
yourself.
Today.
Yes.
I'm going to remember,
right.
Sarah, you are calm.
You are calm.
Yeah,
you are
calm.
Okay. You are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know why? It's really easy to see. Little kids go into a place like a supermarket or Walgreens or something like that, and it's just this huge place with so many things. Their body, their brain says, touch, touch, touch.
Yes.
Pick up, pick up, pick up. It doesn't say, I can't have that. That's not what their brain say. Their brain says, wonder what that feels like. Wonder how that will sound when I pick it up. So I have to prepare my grandchildren to go to a place like that because otherwise I'm only making it harder for them. I'm not making it easier. Too many choices, just like too messy a house. All of those things make it harder for kids,
absolutely.
Not easier. Yes.
Oh, absolutely. So let's say a child doesn't comply. So the number one step is like, remind yourself that you are safe.
You're calm.
And you are calm.
Barney is calm.
And let's choose logical consequences, right?
Okay. Oh, yes.
Because losing your patience leads to many wrong outcomes, okay? So, and teaches kids how to handle your emotions when you lose your patience. Like, I mean, if you think about it, and this, one of the pillars of our program is emotional intelligence, right?
Right.
And when we lose our patience, what do we go back to? To the patterns that we learned as a child that we're all trying to deconstruct and learn again, right? But a lot of times, like you find yourself like, oh, my mom, I just sounded like my mom or like my dad, because it's true. We learn those patterns. So like remind yourself that your example, staying in calm and in composure, is the message that you are going to send your child, and the behavior that they're going to repeat and the pattern when they're older. So all these are like great tests. So step number one, stay in composure, and then create consequences. What type of consequences?
Well, primarily, if you don't put toys away, then they really probably are not going to be available the next time they may want to play with them. So it's hard sometimes as a parent or a grandparent to go through with the consequences because you think, oh, it won't hurt. I'll just put it back out. No, you can't.
Oh, but come on, you are a grandparent.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, in reality, grandparents don't follow. They're not famous for following consequences.
No, we're not. I fully agree, because there's nothing quite as much fun as this morning. I went up to the kids' house because I was going to drive one of them to school. And when I hear my grandson say, Mimi, 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 it just thrills me because I know that he's 2.5 and his just great enthusiasm to be with me makes me feel good. And I'm glad he feels that way. Now, I also don't let him get away with everything that he would get away with, because with him, he just loves life. He's one of those kids, you could already tell. But when you take him to the store, it's not fun. So we don't take him to the store.
Oh, okay. Well,
when
that's
he's
a good
older,
plan.
he can go. He's just not quite ready to be in a toy store by himself. No.
Absolutely. Well, but I mean, a lot of young parents complain that they might have some consequences at home, but they're not follow through with the grandparents' house. But that's a completely new episode. Okay. But what do you do with kids that are often getting new toys, and then this seems to oh my God, the mess is getting bigger and bigger because there are more toys. Like,
Too
what do
much.
you do?
Well, you've got to make a plan to take some of them away. And so you have to purge some of the toys. You have to get rid of some of the toys. And you want to involve children when they do that.
Yeah.
So that's what we have to work at. We have to make sure that they're involved with, let's put them away even for just a while. So that's what I've tried to do. It was really hard for me because one of my children would say, no, I don't want to get rid of anything. So anytime something new came in, something else had to go out. So that's what we did.
Okay, well, so I think this episode has been filled with a lot of wisdom on how to actually get your child started with routines for cleaning your home. So, thank you for joining us. And in conclusion,
just know that you are still in charge of your house. You're still in charge of the playroom. You're still in charge of that. Take charge of that because it will help your children to have a place for everything and everything in its place.
And if you like this show, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel and join us on a mission to raise the next generation of innovators.